It's a beautiful rainy day in Xi'an. I'm having my morning walk, enjoying the calmness and the emptiness of the street. I'm thinking about the different ways I'm going to enjoy my holiday in Xi'an, the ways I'm going to explore this big city. Suddenly, my phone rings, and I think to myself, who dares to call me such early hour in the morning? I mean, I've not ordered Wi-Fi. I'm not expecting any QID. Perhaps it's one of those scam calls. I took out my phone. It's my father. And the moment I saw that it was my father calling, I knew something must have happened. Especially when we consider the time difference between China and Somalia. He calling me such a very late hour from his side, in such a very early hour from my side. It should be an emergency situation. My heart started to race. I picked up the phone. After hello and hi, my father informs me, Musab, your great-grandmother has just passed away. My heart sunk. My eyes started to tear up, and suddenly, sadness overshadowed the empty and calm streets. I'm holding the phone on my left hand, umbrella on my right hand, tears on my face, and all what I'm thinking at that moment, I should end my trip, I have no more appetite for holiday, and I should go back. I ended my trip, I grieved, and the support of the family and the friends helped me to move on. Now, 2 years has passed. It's one of the break times of one of my meetings. This time, my brother calls me. Musab, my condolences to you. Grandmother has passed away. I said to him, thank you, but which grandmother passed away? And he said, our grandmother. And though I knew who he was talking about, I had someone in my mind, but I was in a denial situation. I wasn't willing to admit it was the person that I think is. So I said to him, Abdullah, we have a lot of grandmothers, to be honest. So which grandmother are you referring to? He sighed, yet he was understanding my reaction to the situation. So he tells me, Musab, it's Halima grandmother who passed away. Again, my heart sunk. But unlike last time, this time I was able to pull up myself. I was able to go back to the meeting and finish all my responsibilities for the day, and later on deal with my emotions and respond to all different messages. As I'm responding to all of these different messages, I had said a realization. I was not as sad as I was expecting to be. And even more surprising, the death of my great-grandmother has made me more sad compared to the death of my grandmother. This was very surprising to me, especially when we consider the fact that I was very close with my grandmother, where I didn't have that much of close relationship with my great-grandmother. In fact, I only had very limited interactions with her, while I had a lot of moments with my grandmother. So I started to think, why the person that I was very close to, I didn't feel as heartful, I didn't feel as sad, where the person that I was not that much close to, my time has stopped and I wasn't able to move on for a very long time. I started to react, to write and analyze my emotions, and then I had an aha moment. I realized that it was the feeling that I have said everything that I wanted to say to my grandmother. It was the fact that I have felt that I expressed all my emotions, all the things that I wanted to express towards my grandmother, which made me feel comforted, which made me feel that, oh, this story has ended without any regrets. While When it comes to the case of my great-grandmother, what I was mourning was the potential or the lost potential of creating more depth relationship, of creating more shared stories together. And that made me realize the importance of self-expression and how self-expression is essential in the way we engage with life. Of course, we express in different ways. We express through clothes, through art, through different methods. But here I want to specifically focus on the way we express our emotions, because it was the feeling that I had towards the way that I expressed my emotions towards my grandmother, which helped me to feel comfortable, to be not as sad as I was expecting to be. And although, considering our different backgrounds, our different personalities, we might have different ways to express our emotions, different percentage or different willingness, the way we engage with emotions. But nonetheless, we are human beings, we feel. And emotions are a big part on the way we make sense of things. Emotions are very helpful into understanding who we are, in understanding the others. And of course, expressing emotions can help us to connect with others in a more depth way. So here is the question: how we can express our emotions in a way that can help us to connect with the other in a more depth way. One of the things that have been talked a lot in here, and different speakers have expressed in different ways, is to engage more with the others, is to be present, is to actively listen. Because by being present, by being actively engaging, we are learning more about the other. And as we are learning more about the other, we are connecting with them more. And secondly, reflecting more, I think. I mentioned that writing and analyzing my emotions have helped me to understand the nature of the situation and the emotions that I was feeling. And though reflection is very important for all different aspects of life, specifically when it comes to emotions, reflecting on what we are feeling can help us to understand what are we truly feeling, to connect with ourselves. And also reflecting the relationships that we have with others. What is state, how we can improve, what needs to be improved. Are we willing to continue? I mean, focusing on that in itself can help give us more awareness of what we are feeling, of what is going on. And of course, there are different ways to reflect. I suggest, by the way, if you don't have habit of writing, to think about how incorporating writing in your daily life as a method to reflect, whether through diary or through different means, can be very helpful. There are different ways also to record. Photography, videography, different means. Creating those materials, the moments that we share with others, can create memories that we can reflect on later. And all of these can create more awareness. And as it builds more awareness, to build on that awareness, and to connect more with the other, expressing more is very important. To express more, to have open and honest conversations. Not only about the positive aspects, but to have the difficult conversations. I mentioned that me feeling that I have expressed everything that I wanted to express towards my grandmother have helped me to not be as sad, having me to move on. It wasn't only about expressing my appreciation, my love for her, but also my heartfelt apology. Having the tough discussions that had to be made was a very relieving thing, knowing that that has happened. So think about what difficult conversations are waiting for you to have. Think about how you want to express and have open and honest conversations. And also, another way to express more is to creatively think about ways we can improvise in creating shared memories together. Because the shared memories that we have is the way we weave the stories that we have together. It's the way we add color to the stories that we have. One of my favorite memories with my grandmother happened as we were traveling from one city to another. We saw this beautiful lake, and my grandmother asked my uncle, "Park the car. Let's enjoy the green and take a bath in the lake." And that memory has added color to the story that we have. So think about improvising, and to improvise and to actively create those shared memories requires, again, to engage, to be present, to actively seek and engage with the other in a meaningful ways. Of course, meaningful ways can be very subjective, so you can think about that for yourself. And another thing is gratitude. To appreciate the others, to express our appreciation, to express the things that we want to express not only with words, but going beyond words, with our actions. And of course, everyone might have different ways that they would like to be appreciated, depending on what they value, depending on their character. So again, to know what one values and what action they will love to have or to experience, to be feeling that gratitude from the other, we again go back to engaging with the other, to be present, to actively engage. That action for me and my grandmother has been through gift giving, exchanging gifts. The last gift that I gifted to my grandmother was a perfume. I knew how much she loved perfumes. And the last gift that she gifted me was when she was taken to the ICU, to be taking that bottle of perfume and put it by her side. She knew how much it meant for me, for me to be present by her side in such a time. Of course, I was not present there physically, but I was there with that bottle of perfume. That was her way of expressing her gratitude towards me. Finally, what I want to say is that every close individual in our life is a gift. Every interaction that we have is one to be cherished. So let's express our emotions more. Let's create shared memories with our close ones, and let's enjoy life. Thank you very much.